Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah.
Good evening, and welcome to Stupid O'Clock. I'm your host.
Neither one of us are Joe Dog. He is.
I'm not.
Nor am I.
Yeah, really.
There we go. That's a little better. Right. This thing is your fault, Joe. So you have to be over there in that side of the box.
Yeah.
Although I guess technically I could be 3 Joe Dogs in a trench coat.
Okay.
He'd have to buy a trench coat.
I have screwed up. I found out Tuesday was our 3-year anniversary.
I was wondering what you were going to do about that.
Yeah. So, we'll just have a celebration and help me remember next year that we're going to on the April 4th. I know what happened is April 12th is when I paid for StreamYard.
So you started using it on the 4th. And
Yeah.
The check didn't bounce on the 12th.
Yeah. No, the reason
No,
we
he was using the free version.
Yeah, we're using the free version, which gives you 20 hours of free time. Reason I had to pay for it is because we used our 20 hours in.
Boy, did we. We used half of it in that first broadcast, if I remember correctly.
Damn near it.
Yeah, I forgot you guys were going to do one last night. Did you do it or?
No. It was supposed to be next week.
Okay.
That's when he had it scheduled.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he's learned to read a calendar by then.
No, Rich. This Carl. This is 4/6/23. If you look, that's what it says on top of mine.
Mm-hmm.
See, even the guys
yeah.
looking.
On YouTube, it was showing 4/8 because I actually have it up in another window.
Huh. Well, they're stupid.
Well, we're going to do one on 4/8 anyway, whether it's the anniversary or not. But
Oh. Okay. Nobody move. Nobody move. Everybody sit still. As still as you are. This guy's been stiller.
24/7, folks. 24/7, 365. This is what we have to put up with.
You know, if I wanted this kind of abuse, I'd go over there to the couch.
I take it that's for Trey's.
Yes.
On a more serious note, thoughts and prayers going out to Donna McKill. Nothing wrong with her. She just has to live with Joe 24/7.
Hey, and Moon Angel, I want to say Angie, is that her name? She was at HallowCon.
No,
I do believe, yes.
Thanks for tuning in.
And she started hanging out with us
Yeah,
after meeting us in person.
yeah,
wait a minute.
Them-
She was warned
them
and she
some
came back
good
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, really.
Oh, I am trying to pull a screen grab real quick.
Don't confess your criminal activities on
Yeah,
the air.
Screen grab of what? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, never ask that question. You know better than that.
Well, he's going to show us anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to show you anyway.
I figured I'd just add some pressure just to make him work harder. Hurry up, Joe. We want to see the screen grab. Hurry. Come on.
All right, I've got to save it.
Now it'll take 45 minutes for the upload.
And I got to delete the Ben Stiller picture. I can only pull that one once. And I didn't get any response from Carl on it either.
It's all right. He's
Maybe you're losing
probably
your
lighting a
touch.
cigar and didn't have to look at it.
All right. This is breaking news.
What did you break in this
Which
time?
is better
that
than
made the
breaking wind.
news?
From Elon, 3 hours ago, Starship is stacked and ready to launch next week, pending regulatory approval.
Oh, so now
Pending the proper bribes being paid.
he's rubbing their nose in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time. And he needs to. He needs to get the government working their ass off.
And I don't know if y'all use Twitter. If any of y'all use Twitter.
I've got a Twitter account, but I never look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't Twitter. Yes.
Now, when you bring up Twitter instead of the little blue bird.
Oh, wait a minute. Zach's here and he says, not happening next week.
Oh, Zach's here?
Yep. Dawn just came in. Keisha just came in.
Well, send Zach a link and let.
I'm working on it.
Tuesday, they're doing a full wet dress rehearsal, and it will be pending the FAA regulations.
All right, Zach, I sent it to your Facebook Messenger.
Suddenly, when you said wet dress rehearsal, I got excited for just a second.
And if they whine and cry about it enough, does it become a wet nurse rehearsal?
Yeah, If it doesn't work, does it make it a wet blanket rehearsal?
Pretty much. Of
Only if it
cour-
brings everybody
A
down.
wet rehearsal. Thank you.
if it doesn't work, it's going to be a freaking nightmare.
Oh. Yeah, you know what Alice Cooper said about that?
It'd be like everybody on the Gulf Coast looking up into the sky going, ooh, ah.
No, everybody around for about 8 to 10 miles around be going. They say this thing is almost as potent as a small tactical nuke if it goes off at the wrong way.
You don't have any stats on it, like how much fuel and oxygen it carries?
1,000,000 pounds of oxygen and methane at a
That's
2-to-1
both
ratio.
pieces?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's just the fuel. There's none left over for anybody who is going to fly the damn thing.
I'm still trying to find out, and Zach couldn't tell me, or maybe we can get him on the show and he can tell me, whether or not they fixed those 2 engines. They're just going to go without them.
Well, it went back to the production plant, so they probably swapped them out while I was in the building, which would be wise.
Well, did they swap them out or just fix the pieces? Because apparently one of them was just a sensor. I don't know what was wrong with the other one.
There he is. There's the man of the hour.
Oh, well, I hope not.
Only the
Somebody
methane.
got a haircut.
Only
Yeah.
the methane.
Yeah, somebody's looking to getting ready for a road trip.
Someone's boarding a plane in 16 hours. So,
Oh, and here I thought
Texas,
you had
here
a
we
hot
come.
date.
No. Well, hot date with a plane.
Will.
Hot, very, very, very expensive date.
Well,
okay. Well, most of them are.
Hey, Zach, all I'm going to say is Ellie's going to be down there and she's going to need somebody to carry stuff for her.
Is she making it?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, I'm excited that she's able to make it, but that girl just broke her leg.
Yeah. Well, she says it was 5 weeks ago, so.
Yeah, still, ow. Texas isn't good for her. Texas is not forgiving. So
Yeah.
I hope it goes well.
And she's on crutches. She gave up the walker and she's on crutches now.
In sandy terrain.
That'll make it maybe easier in the road.
Yeah.
Not the beach.
She's staying at Copacabana on Padre Island.
She's going to need a hovercraft.
No idea where that is, but everyone's booking every possible hotel they can find. So
No kidding.
it's based from what I've seen. The island's like anything that has a view sold out a week ago. So
Wow.
Yeah. The local no-tail motel.
There's always Mexico.
$2 an hour now.
So is the 17th a good day? Is that?
So this is something I have not barely slept for last week because
Yeah.
it keeps changing every 3 hours, which is really fun. FAA advisory says 17th to the 21st now. Elon says next week. SpaceX says testing next week, launch the week following. NOTAMs and NOTMARS say this week. A Mexican NOTAM says the week after. A booking SpaceX has at a location for 3 days is not next week, but the week after, which we assume is for media and invited guests because it has a viewing of the pad outside the exclusion zone. The NASA planes we're really confused about because one of them is going into repairs, so there'll only be one available. So the question is, will they want that at SpaceX in Starbase, or are they going to send it to Hawaii for re-entry?
All right. There's your there's Boca Chica Beach down there.
Yeah.
And there is La Copa Inn Beach on South Padre Island.
Yeah, it's one of the few places that should have a rough view from it. Some of the hotels are talking about like opening their roofs and stuff.
Yeah, that's about 3 miles, so that's not
From the pad, that's 5. That'll be about 5.5. So the exclusion zone is smack in the middle of that bay entry line, right south of the main island.
There's Boca Chica Beach, and there's the launch pad is somewhere in that area.
Right on the beach line. Switch to satellite.
So yeah, she's about. Let me see.
That's probably about 6
about
miles.
about 3 miles, if that.
No, that's about 6. The beach of South Padre is 5.5. Because the exclusion zone's 5. If you go inside 5, you die.
But wait a minute. Okay.
Sounds like New York.
Well, the scale down here, 2 miles is about an inch. So that's one,
If you
2.
right click right there, click measure distance at the bottom, and then click by there. Off the other way.
Yeah, you can tell I'm real good at this internet stuff.
I only learned you could do this a couple weeks ago. And then right click and distance to here. Second one at the bottom.
Click it again, or
The distance to here one up.
oh,
All the way. Yeah.
distance from here.
And
Oops.
then
They gave me the road distance.
I thought about that. That's supposed to do.
He clicked the wrong one.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's
Clear
giving
measurement.
data. Something's zoom in on that yellow on the track on the road there. What is that?
Probably construction. They're probably
Yeah.
redoing the road.
Construction, or that's where the gate is. One or the other.
That's probably busy because a lot of people are stopping there and taking pictures of the pad from a distance. Because that's when you bend that curve, that's the first time you can see Starbase when you've come in on that road. So a lot of people stop there for like their first photos, and then they get closer.
Hey, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
Keeps asking me to do.
So right click and then measure distance at the very bottom.
I tried that, but it's trying to give me road distance every time I do
Click
that.
that one again.
Measure distance.
I'll go back up to the other spot.
Yeah, see, it's gonna do that.
Yeah, drag that line.
Drag that one up. There you go.
Okay.
6 miles.
It says 2, 4, about 6. Odd.
Right at the bottom, it tells you.
Oh,
See, Zach does know what
6.09.
he's talking about.
Zach's used that a whole bunch.
Oh, I've been verifying views with that because it gives you the straight line of sight. So I've been looking at hotels to make sure if we get certain balconies that we have line of sight. So right now we should have line of sight pad view from the moment we arrive till it launches, without question, without SpaceX's help.
Nice.
Which will be nice because then we don't have to fight traffic to go set up cameras on beaches and stuff. So we'll go
Yeah, you
roadside.
just telescopic lens on the camera.
3,000 millimeter.
Ooh, that's a nice lens.
3,000 millimeters.
Yep.
That's a meter. No, 3 meters.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty nice. If you take a picture of the moon, you can't get the whole moon in the one frame. And then if you use the digital zoom, it goes to 6,000 millimeters. But then you start deteriorating the photo.
Mm-hmm. It's having to make up stuff.
Ah.
So when you're shooting 5 miles, it'll be good.
Okay, so with this camera 5 miles out, you can count the hairs on a fly's ass.
Possibly. We'll find out. It just showed up 3 days ago. So, but you should be able to take pictures of every single little bolt when I'm standing at the base of the tower. So we'll have some pretty tight close-up shots, which will be nice. So.
And Carl says sometimes that shows the traffic congestion. Have you heard the story about the guy that bought 300 cell phones in Germany?
Bought all
I'm
these
waiting
cell
for the
phones,
punchline.
put them into a wagon, and then drove them back and forth across this bridge over a canal that was right in the center of the city. and it basically told the traffic pattern analyzer that there were 300 cars stuck on this bridge not moving, and marked it as a huge traffic jam.
And then started going to the little pubs up and down the street.
Can I use this for Starbase? Oh no, no one can get out of Houston. No. We'll see. Basically every flight's sold out, and a lot of people are coming this week. A lot of people are trying to come next week now that everything's been pushed, because everything until this morning was pointing that it was happening Monday.
No, Joe Dog would use all 300 cell phones to ring somebody's phone off the hook.
Is he the same person that tried to pop popcorn with the cell phones in the circle?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's on. You can find it on the internet.
Yeah. It's on the internet, so it's got to be true.
Yeah. Ben Franklin said that, and I still don't believe him.
But yeah, it actually made national news when he did it.
I don't believe Ben Franklin when he said that, but I do believe Socrates when he said cell phones suck.
What's the matter, Joe?
Nothing.
And see, Zach missed my joke earlier. Dadgummit.
Oh, and you've done erased it.
And I've erased it, yeah.
Oh, darn.
Thank goodness for small favors.
I watched the replay.
Zach, those two rocket engines that failed on the static fire test. One just didn't light, and the other one, the computer shut it down. So I'm assuming that was just
one they chose not to light. Yeah.
And they got them fixed or replaced, or do you know?
I think they swapped them, because we saw the Raptor stand go back out. They did work under it. I don't know if they swapped them, but the Raptor stand left not last night, the night before. So the pad's pretty much clear. So we're expecting a wet dress on Tuesday, which will hopefully verify that all the engines are working.
And didn't they lay the crane down today?
Maybe.
Oops.
That's a great question. I've been running around with my head cut off packing, so I know one of the crane, most of the cranes are down. There's the one,
The new crane that they bought from Germany.
Yeah, it looks like it was standing a few hours ago. I don't know if they laid it down since, but I mean that thing takes an hour to lay down. So in the meantime, they built another ship and another booster, and it's sitting ready to go. So
another ship.
The first parts of ship 36, I think
Starship.
it is.
Okay.
Starship.
Yeah, you got to remember they also have ships.
I guess that's true. Yeah. So confusing. I think Starship 36, we've seen its nose cone, and Booster 17 or something, we've seen the first parts of, and they're flying Ship 24 and Booster 7. So there's a lot of boosters and starships just sitting around. So if anyone wants one, they might sell you one. A couple million.
Didn't Elon say he needed like 3 Starship per booster when they get fully operational?
3, what do you mean?
Like
3 starships.
One booster assigned to 3 starships. So one booster can put like 3 starships.
Yeah, something like that. That was what they wanted long run. No,
whatever
that makes sense.
Yeah, whatever tempo he wants. 36 hours.
If they can nail catching it, yes. That's the big question. And we're still not sure if they're going to catch it or not.
Last I saw that they are ditching 20 miles out.
Could they do it 5 miles out so we can see it plummeting through the sky, this 15-story structure falling to pieces?
That's a lot of pickup trucks being wasted.
And they're not recovering the debris either. It's just all going to sink.
Somebody will.
That's
30.
probably why they're dropping it 20 miles out, not 5 miles out.
33 Merlin or 33 Raptor V2 engines right off Brownsville, and 3 V2 Raptors and 3 MVAC Raptors or M Raptors, whatever it is, are back out of Hawaii. So someone wants an engine. I mean, Jeff Bezos went and pulled one of the Apollo engines, so I wouldn't be surprised people go and try to pull these.
Jeff Bezos goes and pulls off both pieces, recovers them, and then starts using all the Raptor.
Yeah, recertifies them and flies them because they can't make their own engine.
Well, you heard about when Jeff Bezos brought the Apollo. It was the Apollo 11 engine section, all 5 engines. When he brought it back into shore, NASA was standing there going, "Thank you.
We'll take it from here."
And Joe Dog, you're starting to rub off on Donna now.
Why?
Look at the comments. There's the response I was looking for from Rich.
Here's Zach. Let's put it up on the screen.
Oh, but it's connected to what Dawn just said. So basically, there's the setup. Here's knocking it out of the park. Oh, Dawn.
There was a joke, and I wish I could remember the whole thing, but this Greek guy was walking down the street, and he ripped his pants. So,
I know it.
So he jumps into the phone booth and calls a local tailor. It's a Greek tailor. The tailor shows up with his kit at the phone booth. The guy goes, looks at his pants, goes, "You rip a D's?" He goes, "Yeah." "You fix a D's?" "Yes, I'm in a D's." Yes.
Oh. Now, Zach, we were talking about what happens if it does the unthinkable on the pad. What's the blast radius supposed to be? And how much?
No. How much?
Yeah.
I believe it's if it runs on the pad, the build site is supposed to just be safe, which is 2 miles. That's like the dead zone is 2 miles. Because they will have staff at the build site for the launch, because that's where mission control is. So there will be 30, 40 people probably in that room, and it's not a reinforced building. They're just there. And then no one else will be within 5 miles. The entire area is being cleared. Theoretically, could shrapnel fly 5 miles? Probably. I mean, this is double the power of SLS at launch, so it's a lot of power.
And how much? John was asking, how much fuel are we talking?
Yeah. And it's methane, right?
Methane and oxygen, yeah.
Methane and oxygen.
Let me find it.
Joe said 1 million pounds of each, but
there's an image that I was thinking of specifically. Like, okay, the ship, the Starship, the top half, takes 38 semis of CH4 and 54 tankers of O2. The booster takes 113 tanker trucks of CH4 and 165 tankers of O2. So it's math. The ship has 569,000 liters of CH4 methane and 808,000 liters of oxygen. The booster has 1.7 million liters of CH4 and 2.469 million liters of oxygen. And that all gets burnt up in like 7 or 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So if they have a abort at launch, we're probably talking a day minimum recycle, because they'll have burnt off so much out of the fuel. The tank farm's only just enough basically to do one ship and booster. So we'll see.
Now, are they going to pipeline from Sanchez to the launch pad for the O2.
Maybe the fact that they're no longer planning on it being an operational facility and that it's research and development, probably less likely because they're not going to want to spend much more. Like we're still not sure if we're ever even going to see the second tower at Starbase because it just might not make sense. There's a whole nother tower already built waiting to be stacked in Florida. It's done. The entire another tower on top of the one that they've already built. So we don't know where that's going because it's not going for Falcon on 40. So there's a whole nother pad basically ready in Florida. So it looks like everything's pointing to they just want to prove as quickly as they can to get NASA on board so they can start testing. Slick 40 will have its crew tower, have its first cargo test flight with Dragon on it by the end of the year, and then first crewed flight probably early next year. Once that happens, it's certified. Theoretically, NASA may give them the okay to start using Starship at 39A. And if that happens, things at Florida will start changing very quickly.
Yeah.
39A will become Falcon Heavy and Starship only. We won't see Falcon 9s from it.
And the Star Factory's already built
Yeah.
in Florida, which is it's a good looking building from the pictures I've seen.
Yeah, the only thing that's not built is somewhere to build the ships. And from what it looks like, they're going to just ship the ships from Texas like ULA does. Throw them on barges and just sail them over the Gulf.
Shipping ships. Okay.
Ships shipping 15 to 20 story tall boosters and 15 story tall actual rocket ships.
I think they'll probably lay them down and
They can't.
They can't.
Nope. They structurally cannot lay down. They're like a pop can. The metal's only 3 millimeters thick. Yeah. Starships can never be laid down. Neither can the boosters. And they always have to be pressurized as well. Because if they don't, they indent and start to collapse like a pop can on themselves.
Mm.
So eventually they're going to have to start building in Florida. But
Well, I know another way to get them to Florida. Yep, fly them over there.
it's going to take a lot of convincing for Orlando and Tampa to say, sure, fly your experimental rocket over our cities. Disney will put their foot down and close their airspace. But we'll see.
Well, Disney's already had enough trouble on their hands right now.
Yeah, they're having some fun.
Yeah, Christian Basil was there over the weekend. Yeah, Disney's having enough trouble. Christian Basil was there over the weekend.
Let's not go there.
Oh, and there was a cease and desist, wasn't it?
Yep. Well, damn, that didn't take him long.
Oh. Dawn, I'm not touching that line even in the green room.
Oh, what? Stop it.
All right, I'm sorry.
Oh, my phone has this mood. All right.
Ball peen hammer would fix it in a hurry.
Oh, no, I need it, especially.
Concussive maintenance always makes you feel better.
Oh, yeah. I love concussive maintenance with a aluminum ball bat and a tree.
So earlier, I had to do percussive maintenance on my printer.
Oh, yes.
It's an old printer, and actually the HP site says for certain things, you actually need to lift it up about 4 inches and drop it because dust can get in the gears for the scanner bed. Because I don't scan very often, so it seizes up a little bit. So I had to scan and copy my father's death certificate. because there's certain things that you have to have the nice, pretty, notarized, embossed one, and then certain other things they're just like, screw it, a copy's fine. We don't care because I got to get my dad's taxes filed, so they just want a copy of it. So I was trying to copy it, and it stopped halfway through. So tried it again. After the percussive maintenance, wouldn't go. Unplugged it, moved everything away from it, and just slammed that sucker on the cabinet about 6 times. Plugged it back in. It behaved. It's like, no, sir, we're going to be good. Everything was lickety split.
And you'll appreciate this, Rich. In the server room at the NDOT LaPorte district office, one of the last things I did before I left the IT spot,
it's right over there,
that I knew the one IoT tech would get a kick out of, I left a claw hammer in there with a label on it that said hard reset.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I hear Trey laughing about that one, too.
Mm-hmm.
the printer story. While I was preparing, all the printing for HallowCon this past year, my cat decided that it would be great to climb my sound deadening material and jump down on top of the printer, and broke the feed thing off the back of it. So I'm trying to fix it, get it going, and realized, it is now lost cause. I forgot to unplug it when I was throwing it at the cat.
And here comes another cease and assist from PETA.
So far,
Have you ever-
been good with my
The
friend.
cat's got a lawyer, believe me. He's lived with your dog long enough.
Rich, have you ever been that mad when you go to throw something, you forget to unplug it?
Not yet. I have forgot to unplug things when I've gone to move them, both at home and at work.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very short trip, and all of a sudden I'm staring at the ceiling going, why?
Oh, shit. Gravity works.
Well, one of the times we were doing office relocations and stuff like that, we had to go in and we had to grab people's laptops and move them. I didn't realize this one person had 2 different locks on their attached to their desk. So I see the one lock sitting there because it's a lock connected to a cable, to the desk. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, okay. I see the lock sitting there. All right, laptop's unlocked. Just take it. Go. Yeah, no. I made it about 2 feet before all of a sudden I'm staring at the ceiling going, why? And then I'm like, why is there a cable lock? So.
Yeah, they don't even put those little lock features on laptops anymore, to where you can plug the cable into them.
That's on my personal. Let's see if it's on my work. Do not see it on that side. And yep, there is one on this one. And this is brand new.
And now we know Rich uses his work computer to do the show.
No. My work computer is actually sitting beneath my personal computer. I've got my work computer, I've got my chill pad, and then I've got my personal computer. And then whenever I need to do anything
which
dual
one's
screen,
dominant now.
whenever we have to do anything dual screen, I close up my personal, take my work, put it on top. This way I've got 2 screens for work, and then I've got 2 screens for home. Because I'm rarely doing both at the same time. Didn't say never. Rarely.
People make fun of me at work because I remote into my work laptop from my personal one.
Sitting on your desk.
I'm guessing you guys heard that.
I take it people is Trey.
She's one of them.
And now you're getting heckled from the background, and
I've remoted to home computers from across the room because I was too lazy to get up.
Well, back before I had the Mac Mini, I had a Mac laptop, and I basically only used that for coding. Well, I didn't want to have to keep unplugging one of my monitors and fishing the wire around and plugging it into that, so I just remoted into it.
We got in trouble at work. You know, I work construction, driving a dump truck, and we got in trouble with the computers.
I'm afraid to ask how you pulled that off.
Somebody accidentally leaked the back door to the city's web server.
Nice.
And we found out how to log into the time clocks.
oh,
There were people clocking in and not being there.
Nothing like a little ghost payroll.
No, they would clock in at home, then go to work.
I can understand clocking in from like the parking lot. But then again, I'm also thinking these probably weren't folks that were too smartphone savvy.
No, this was before smartphones really got big. But yeah, people would clock in at the house at clock in time and then drive to the yards to get in their vehicles and go. And the boss would call them, the foreman would call them on the phone, tell them, okay, we're going here. All right, I'm on my way.
in one way that would be an enormous time saver, in another way,
It'd be horribly abused.
That's what got it.
yeah.
And it was real funny. All of a sudden, we had these cameras in front of the time clocks. That cut out real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we had somebody at our factory that was leaving in the middle of the night without clocking out, and somebody else had their time card and clocked them out at the normal time. Their supervisor couldn't find them for half a night. So now we have to not only wave our card at the time clock, but we have to go to the gate and wave our card a second time so that it can be cross-referenced to make sure we didn't actually leave before we clocked out.
What do you got there, Rich?
So this is my work phone. So up here at the top, it's got a nice little camera. So the attorneys that didn't want to be on camera, I made a joke that they ended up some of them ended up doing. So when we were in the office all the time, what they would do is they would paste a picture of a celebrity under their cabinet, and then they would just point their camera straight up. And instead of, because there's some folks that are like, you have to have the shutter open. Yeah, screw them. I'm IT. You don't have to see my face. But some of the attorneys, did have to do that. And for the people that they really didn't want to have, be face to face with, they just pointed the camera straight up. So it was looking at like a picture of like Brad Pitt and stuff like that.
57 lawyers look like Betty Page. Who'd have thunk it?
And John has a cover for his camera.
Oh, yeah.
Or you just unplug the plug in the back.
I was almost a user on Tuesday. Monday. Monday was the first session with his partner. So I'm getting everything ready for the Zoom call so that I can do his induction training because he's brand new to the firm and stuff like that. And I'm like, why the hell is, my image not picking up on my camera? What the hell is it's picking up over here? But I want it so I can be looking at my laptop, talking to him, and then demoing over here. And I rebooted the computer and stuff like that. And then, I looked closer, and this is the first time I've used the internal camera on this laptop because I just recently had a laptop refresh. I didn't realize it had a built-in shutter. So I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh, built-in shutter. So open the shutter and hey, I can see. I almost had to call a help desk.
I broke my cup holder.
So yes, folks, even for folks who've been in IT for almost 20 years, sometimes you can make a mistake that, especially on brand new equipment.
So our last group of new hires in construction, I went down to do the orientation for everybody. And the main office gave them a nice little welcome basket, with all the office essentials, pens, pencils, notepads, all that fun stuff. And they gave them little adhesive slider covers. Yeah. For laptops that already have them built in. It'd be my luck, I would close them both, open the one going, okay, this will work, and then sit there and go, why can't I see myself?
Oh, Zach.
Because the fact is, the adhesive would cover the other one, and you'd be like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Zach's having day reminders of fruit stand days.
So many days.
Yeah. Zach used to work for the fruit stand computer company.
It's been a year. I work for Apple. Pretty sure I'm clear now. I'm at NDA or whatever it was.
Worked for the Satan box.
Hey, Gary's got a question for you. What's a hacker's favorite season? Fishing season. Love you, Rich.
Had a smishing attack against me personally yesterday.
Did they try to get
looking
you to join the Illuminati?
Well, no. I got a text saying, and it had my actual bank's name and some other stuff, and it was saying, your card's being linked to Apple Pay. I'm like, I do not own an Apple device to have my phone linked to Apple Pay. I'm like, I'm sure this is not the number that my bank would be texting me from because my bank texts me from another number. So I called to verify just to be sure. And complete, smishing attack. So I'm just like, all right, block.
Yeah. You'll need to pay with a Walmart gift card.
And then the lady on the phone kept trying to explain to me smishing. I'm like, that's literally what I do for a living is explain different attacks and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. And then halfway through, I'm just like, yeah, and they do this, 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 and this, and trying to and they're like,
oh, you could have had so much fun with that. Why did
I could have?
Yeah, why is it spelled with PH?
I can't stand the spelling. Telling people to send emails to phishing@apple.com.
Well, just wait until you're trying to explain vishing and smishing as well as phishing.
I'm good. I cover rocket.
Phishing. It's a phishing attack.
Have you seen Pierogi's new trick?
Which one? Was that the one where you're talking about he's sending the information to the FBI or something like that?
AnyDesk.
Oh, that's right. He's screwing with their ability to remote to folks.
Yeah, he's now got the other remote connecting company. So yeah, they're whatever they use. He's like, and it's like, and he just texts the IP. That's all he does is text the IP number. Boom.
I love the videos where he's using the voice changer and he sounds like a little old lady, and he's keep them on the phone for half an hour to an hour, and they're going into a virtual box that doesn't affect a goddamn thing, and it is just beautiful. Watching him and Jim Browning and Trilogy Media do their stuff just to screw with these folks is just truly, truly wonderful. And I really enjoyed their partnership with Mark Rober.
Yeah,
that was fun too.
And
I've got one at work that really bugs me. It's a legitimate thing, and because I have a company email, I've automatically been signed up for this company clone of Twitter. So I've already got all the messages for it directed. They go right into the trash without me ever having read them.
Yeah. And Carl's absolutely, Carl, 100%. I don't even pay my bills from the emails from the bank. I see the email, then go to the website and go from there.
And that's exactly what I do for all my critical accounts.
Yep.
Is if I see a message come in via text or whatever, I go to the known website, or if it gives a phone number to call, and I'm like, that's not the number I'm used to calling. I call the number I'm used to calling.
Yeah.
In fact, I have my all my pertinent banks' phone numbers stored in my phone, so that I can just go, let's call from here instead.
Well, I can't get removed from this global mailing list of everybody that has a company email that uses this Twitter clone that is only for company people. Like I said, I've got it to where if I get one of those, it goes straight to the trash, but then I have to go and manually delete it from the trash.
Yeah.
I've been wondering what would happen if I just report that as a phishing attempt every time I get one. Would they finally get annoyed enough with me to take my email off of the list? Because
I would say it would depend on the IT department. Or not necessarily. It would be the IT department, because they would be the one getting the phishing notifications. And eventually they'd probably get pissed off enough just to go to whoever's controlling the mailing list and going, look, just take him off the goddamn list.
please.
Or just start hitting reply all.
No, I never answer it. I've never actually even signed up for it. If I were to click on reply to something, it would want me to set up an account, and I'm going, I don't have an account. Why am I receiving this garbage?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are wasting company money playing with an imitation Twitter because the company could not stop you from being on the real Twitter, so they gave you a ghost Twitter. I don't care what the weather is like in India. I don't care what your granddaughter's graduation in France looks like. Stop bugging me at work 18 times a day when I'm trying to do what I'm getting paid to do.
How we fixed that at the firm is in Outlook, we had a bunch of basically bulletin boards that people could go into if they wanted to and do all that crap there, instead of sending emails to the entire firm and stuff like that. In fact, our stance is, if it's going to an internal mailing list that is 10 people or more, that means that all that information should be in the BCC instead of the 2 or the CC, because our C-level executives got tired of the people who are leaving the firm saying, "Hi, everybody. It's been nice knowing you all. It's time for me and the spouse to, go share, frosty beverages on the beach somewhere," and people inevitably replying to the entire firm, "Save me a margarita." The CEO and the COO is like, we don't need to be seeing that.
I wish I was on their list. Get it blocked. Now, and it's just ultimately frustrating because there's no local IT in the factory anymore. All that comes from corporate headquarters. No, I don't want to give them a StreamYard link, Joe.
No, I was just showing off, doing free advertising. They've given me enough free stuff. I'll give them a little free plug.
Where's the TLP advertising? No, I'm kidding.
Well, send me some free stuff and I'll send me a few shirts and I'll wear them.
We'll see what we can arrange.
See, I just do my own free advertising, and
I just show up and the sexiness sells itself. All right. Sorry. Had a dream for a moment.
I'll be back. I'm going to go grab my boots.
Them some good meds, let me tell you.
No, the good meds haven't been consumed yet. I take those shortly before bed so they last the night so I can sleep.
Well, speaking of sleep, I should probably try and get some, so I'm actually going to take off early tonight, guys. I will
All right.
Well,
see
we
you
appreciate
all.
you being here.
Yep, I will see you guys all next time.
Saturday
All
night.
I'll be here most likely.
All right.
See you guys.
Talk to you later, bro.
Man.
Bye-bye.
And Zach will be in Florida.
Texas.
Oh, are you flying?
I'm not even going to Florida now. Houston tomorrow night, Starbase by 6 p.m. on Saturday. I'm so excited. I should probably pack, but
It's more fun to just throw everything into a trash bag and see the TSA's response.
yeah. Originally I was going to Florida. We were going to prepare, and then 48 hours notice, jump on a plane or in a car and get to Starbase and cover the launch and then go home.
Now you got the 48-hour notice.
Well, now we've had 48 hours notice for a week straight. And we've been watching flights and hotels, and it was like, we're going to go. So we're staying at two different Airbnb things. But
is there any one indicator that we're like, oh crap, they're going for it?
The ship's fully fueled.
Well, that's Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, and that's where everyone's like, well, is Elon just playing with the media now? It's really odd because SpaceX put out a tweet saying testing next week, launch the next week, pending approval, like you said. And then an hour later, Elon tweets, Starship stacked and ready, launch next week. Which is it? The FAA advisory was from the 6th to the 12th. We had a new FAA advisory that came out a couple hours ago from the 17th to the 21st. So there's nothing covering most of next week. So they can't launch without an FAA advisory.
Yeah.
They need an FAA launch license. They need a US NOTAM. They need a new Mexican NOTAM. They need a NOTMAR. They also need a NOTAM and NOTMAR for Hawaii, which I think one of the two is still valid. It was valid for the whole month. But yeah, so no one really knows. Could it launch next week? Yeah, absolutely it could. Will it? Too much. I mean, if you asked me that yesterday, 95% of everything was pointing to the 10th. Everything. And in about an hour and a half of it switched and started pointing to the 17th. And it's that quick. It's come out that there's actually 2 teams at SpaceX working. There's a team tracking to the 10th, and there's a team tracking to the 17th, supposedly. Who knows?
Any bad weather that we, looking forward to within the week that we know of?
I haven't even looked at the forecast, honestly.
Well, it's raining down there right now.
It's always raining down there. It's the winter.
Good.
It's the part I'm not looking
the
for.
brush fire will only go like 3 or 4 miles.
Yeah, they won't even need Fire X. They'll just let it rain. But yeah, that's the other thing. We don't know even like what their launch criteria is. So like we don't know if they need perfectly blue skies or what type of clouds they can launch in. Like we know it for Falcon, but we have no idea for a Starship.
Hey, SN11 launched in so much fog nobody saw it blow up.
Yeah, they're not going to do that again. A lot of people are upset about that. They won't for this. This is too big. They need every camera angle on this if they want funding. So even if it blows up, they need the funding.
Yeah, I remember watching the Tim Dodd replay. Yeah, okay. It's frozen. Boom! He goes, they blew it up.
Yep. So,
SpaceX denies they blew it up. But I don't think engines could do that much detonation.
I mean, if it detonated the fuel in it, it could. But it depends how much fuel was left in it, because they should theoretically only have been on the landing tanks at that point.
Yeah.
There shouldn't have been any other fuel left. And there shouldn't be enough fuel to do that big of an explosion with the landing tanks.
Yeah.
I put something in private chat earlier that you might be interested in, Zach. That is a study from Redstone Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
That was done a few years back about oxygen methane explosive equivalents to TNT.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, right about the time SpaceX announced that they were going to start launching rockets out of Boca Chica with methane oxygen, they did this test study. Like, let's see what the equivalency to TNT is. And so
I wonder what it is for Starship. I'll have to do some math.
There's a lot of math involved, but it doesn't have quite the range and impulse that a TNT blast would have.
Right.
But the energy release is real close.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting.
So how many tons of TNT are we talking, John?
Several.
Let's just say if this thing goes off on the pad, it will no longer be a nature reserve for about 3 miles in any direction. I'm talking birds falling from the sky, fish floating to the surface.
So it's basically it'll become a Cajun restaurant.
If you want to trust Reddit, people are saying between 11.5 and 14 kilotons of TNT.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
We're talking Hiroshima, Nagasaki range.
That was
Yes.
2.2.
Yeah, if Saturn V exploded, it was 2 kilotons of TNT. This, we're talking a multitude of that. Yeah, BFR, the original Starship, was estimated to be over 16. So they've pulled it down.
But it's a different kind of explosion from TNT because it's a gas oxygen mixture.
And am I dropping thousands of dollars to be as close to this as I can? You bet I am.
Do they have SPF 15,000 sunblock?
No, but that is why we have arranged housing that the moment we see a boom, we can run in, and there's going to be a separate room we can go in. We also had to book one of the places we booked. You required extra insurance to book it because it's like a resort place. And they're like, would you like to put a $1,500 deposit or pay $60 to buy insurance to cover $5,000 in damages? Paid the $50 for the extra insurance. But my question is, if Starship goes boom and your home falls over, that's not my fault. But, yeah, it's
So basically, this thing is a 15-story tall fuel air bomb.
30.
Yes.
30.
Well, because the ship's like almost 20, and then the booster's almost 20, and then there's a ship on top. Yeah. And we fill the whole thing in less than an hour.
Yep, I've played Stealth Fighter often enough to know what one of those things will do. A little bitty one.
Well, the tower's what, 430 feet tall?
Something like that, yeah.
So this thing's 370 feet?
Sorry, 469. Should we have been surprised it was Elon?
469, and it goes up what?
The ship is 394 feet.
So we're talking a 38-story building.
Yeah, at minimum, yeah. And then we're going to try to catch 20 stories of that with chopsticks. And then try to belly flop 15 to 18 stories of that to slow it down to land it in chopsticks. Because, yeah. Plan. And then we're going to go try to do this on the moon and Mars, too.
It'll be easier on the moon and Mars, less gravity.
No chopsticks.
No chopsticks.
You have to get there first to put up the chopsticks.
No landing pad. That's the big question. That's why, like, for the moon one, the engines to land are up here so that it doesn't dig a hole. Otherwise, it would just bury itself.
Hey, that's one way to get your base built.
Well, eventually, when they retire these ones, they're going to build cranes, and they're going to tip them over, and they're going to fully submerge them, and they're going to put doors. And
Well, you said it can't lay on the side because it'll...
yeah, but on the moon, it's different.
Yes. Less gravity there.
And theoretically, they could build structuring in it to hold.
Also, less atmospheric pressure.
Yeah.
Back when they were doing
No atmospheric pressure.
back when they were doing Skylab, they actually had an idea of using a Saturn 1B section, the second stage section, the one that actually makes it into
Third
space.
stage. Third stage.
That once it gets into space, actually having a device where you could go in, open it, and put furniture in it and make it into a space station.
Yeah, make the fuel tank usable. Because that's the issue with this, is the livable space is only between my fingers.
Right.
So on the moon, eventually, when this isn't ever going to fly anymore, you've got a lot of room that if you could find a way to retrofit it, would work. Now, the question is, if you build these and eventually you lay them down, you've got floors that go like this.
They may have it where the floor, all the furniture inside, tilts 90 degrees.
And just have ladder.
You just take a socket set and unbolt it from what is now the wall.
Hey, at 1/6 gravity, all you had to do is just jump.
Really? It ain't.
Well, at some point this year, we should know more about what the inside of that looks like.
How do you change a light bulb on the moon? You know, it's like you've got to be a ballerina. You just jump up and spin at the same time.
You don't. You tell the robot to do it.
Hey,
Yeah, but
that would explain why he's got Zeus and Apollo there. That's going to be his first.
Yeah,
act.
they took them out for a walk yesterday or the day before just to make sure they were still up and at them. They haven't been seen in a long time.
Well,
Yeah.
they're probably trying to escape, knowing this thing's getting ready to
They
fuel up
might.
and try to
They
launch.
might die.
The robot dogs are like, we're getting the fuck out of here.
Like we're not
I'm going
this
to become a
stupid.
congressman. Screw this.
we're not that stupid. Bye, Elon. You know,
We've been talking to that chatbot on Google. We're not going to stand for this. We're not even going to sit for this, even if we have been commended.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. The dogs become sentient at 2 minutes, T-minus 2 minutes.
Oh,
And this is how Skynet began.
You know something was up when you see the two dogs running up the street.
I wonder, do they have little speakers where they can bark?
Yes, woofers.
Woofers. I would assumed this much. Yes. And the one that flies around, obviously, it has a tweeter.
And if it's going under the water, it's a subwoofer.
Yeah, the jokes just write themselves, folks. I swear.
Oh, and
And they've got some that go out to explore, and they've got some that just stay there, and those are the base woofers.
well,
It's gonna take more than soda pop, Zach. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Zach isn't writing these down for the.
They're recorded.
Hey,
Well, that there's that. Yeah.
I'm going to take
Kiri's-
these straight to our OFT coverage.
Yeah.
Kiri's writing them down.
Yeah, really. Oh, subwoofer. That's a good one. Oh,
We need something to keep everyone distracted once it launches.
Ingenuity. 50th flight coming up.
Oh, that thing wasn't supposed to fly 6 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've had others that were only supposed to be a 90-day mission, and years later.
I can't wait. One of these days, you're going to see a starship with Delta Airlines livery down the side of it, flying into and out of Atlanta.
Maybe.
If
One
that
day.
thing crashed into Atlanta and blew up like 30 square blocks, no one would notice.
Wow.
That would be
Urban renewal. Yeah.
urban renewal. Yes, indeed. Property taxes would go up. It definitely improved it.
Oh,
And they put in 30 Waffle Houses, 30 Dollar General stores, 30 Subways.
Oh,
And
FedEx-
one perfectly round swimming pool.
FedEx has one of the new 767 flying out of Chattanooga for the Amazon plant. And it just flew over. It's got a unique sound to it. That's what I was trying to listen to.
In what way? Just loud? Weird?
Weird.
It's got the fuel efficient engines,
Yeah.
the big GE fuel efficient ones, and they've got this. They purr. It's
Actually, it sounds like a old biplane in a dive.
You hear somebody going, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die."
Now the funny thing is, I got an Amazon fulfillment center 6 miles from my house. A lot of stuff I order comes out of that place. Before I got Amazon Prime, it would ship out of that center, fly to Memphis. Then it flies to Atlanta. Then it's trucked to Nashville, trucked back to Chattanooga to be delivered. Hell, I could have gone out there and picked it up.
really.
Efficiency.
Yeah. And when they only charge $2.99 for something they ship to me,
And it's going to take a month.
I got my money's worth.
There's one of those online computer parts stores that has a shipping node in about 2 counties away, and you go online, you order stuff, you give it your address, it says, okay, this will take 2 weeks. Shows up within 36 hours. Because they go, hey, Bubba can take that down there in the pickup truck and just a little bit. It's only going to take 90 minutes.
Bubba could throw it in the front yard quicker than we could wait on the post office to come pick it up.
No, that's the brown trucks. These guys actually open the porch door, set it down on the porch, pet the cats, latch the porch door again, ring the doorbell, and drive away.
They still ring your doorbell?
When the battery works in the doorbell, yeah.
We haven't had our doorbell rung by any delivery person in like 3.5 years.
Really?
Not the green room.
Uh,
Well, no, see, we have a special case. They've seen my wife. They ring the doorbell. She's
That-
cute.
You know, one of the reasons they don't like ringing doorbells, there's two reasons. One, it upsets family pets, which, you know, that's
Yeah, but you don't leave my $3,000 camera sitting on the porch.
that's what the special instructions are for. But the other thing is they don't like getting into conversations with little old ladies that don't have a lot of people to talk to.
That's valid. I
Yes.
get that. But like ring it and run away. You don't have to stick around. I like it when I have so many Amazon deliveries that they don't send them in the same van, that we have a convention in front of my house.
And all the vans show up at the same time
Yeah.
trying to get into the driveway. Hi.
Yeah. You're going
Hey.
too? And there's like 3 guys.
well, my son-in-law
17 semis show up at one time.
My
Well, it
son-in-law
depends on what
works-
centers they're coming out of too.
My son-in-law works at UPS. They have this. He says there's this barrel that you come by and you fill up your little barrel with dog treats.
Makes sense.
It comes in. It serves double purpose. Friendly dogs. That way you can friendly dog. Barking, growling dogs. You throw them a biscuit and run for it.
Run, yeah, run away.
I'll never forget when I wrecked my car up on Missionary Ridge on an icy night or icy day. Choop, boop, right off the side. So I started walking down to this house. Here's this Rottweiler comes running out onto the driveway. I'm going, oh, good boy, good boy, good dog, good dog. This dog's good dog. And he's like, good dog. What? Yeah.
That's not the response I was expecting.
They're actually fun-loving dogs. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
But when you got a dog freaking out on you, look at it and go, good boy, good boy, good dog. And they're like, I'm fixing to rip your face off. Good dog, good dog. Like,
I always go. And they just.
you ought to try that, Rich, around your dog. Go. And just watch the look on.
Because they'll break their neck trying to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
My dogs are stupid. They break their necks trying to do anything. Although they're very, very lovable and very loyal. So if everybody's taking a nap in the afternoon or whatever, and we're sleeping, Bucky, I have now dubbed him our head of security, will actually come down the hall, sit outside our bedroom doors, looking down the hall, waiting for Cat, his sister, anyone to try approaching down the hall. If we fail to latch the doors properly, because unfortunately in this apartment complex, the bedroom doors do not latch well all the time. So the other day, I got woke up by the head of security at 5 o'clock, slamming the door open, him and his sister coming in the bedroom, looking around, and then starting to bark saying, hey, why aren't our bowls full? It's payday. It's not 6 o'clock yet. It's not time to eat. Get the hell out.
yeah, and then Bucky says, daylight savings time. I don't care.
No,
Our dog-
Bucky just turned and walked out.
Our dog Daisy, again, blue tick and beagle. The bark. A blue tick has that long bark. Then the beagle. She has a mix of both barks. I'm not, and Donna says we need to get rid of her. I said, that dog's earning her keep around here. She makes enough noise for 3 or 4 dogs.
I was
She makes
playing
enough noise for 3 or 4 blocks.
I was playing a Black Sabbath video the other day, and Kimber struts back here and starts singing along with Ozzy Osbourne in tune. Show me another German Shepherd that can do that.
Show me Ozzy Osbourne that can do that.
Well, that's true. He doesn't harmonize. So
Not always, no.
Yeah. When we had our Chow Yodi and my Husky Akita, the Chow Yodi would start to yip, and then the Husky would start, and Ozzy would start singing, and it got to the point to where they're, I mean, the neighbors are coming out going, shut the dogs up. It wasn't a bark, it was howl.
and you just look at them. I know you did, and go, "Who let the dogs out?"
Usually that's what I say around here. Who let the dogs out?
Blame it on the cat.
Oh, and Donna's mad at me again about the cats.
How so?
Again or still?
Again, new reason. She had one cat that she loves. They're sisters. We call them Lucy and Ethel. Ethel was her cat. Ethel took to her when we first got them. And Lucy sort of took to me. Me and Lucy had a disagreement one morning in the hallway as she was climbing up my head. I walk past, the table in the hallway, and she does the flying leap on my back and up on my head, wanting to be loved and fed. I'm not in the mood at 5:30 in the morning when I got to pee. So she took a flight lesson.
You invented the catapult.
Yeah. And Lucy doesn't do that anymore and doesn't want to be around me much, but Ethel does. So we've traded cats and she ain't happy about it. I didn't trade cats.
The cats
cat
traded people.
Get out of my head, Dan.
Sorry, that'll never happen. We're too attuned.
Was it you, Rich, that said dogs have owners, cats have staff?
Yes, cats have servants. Cats have staff. I don't remember where I got that from, but yeah, it's.
I think that was Heinlein, actually.
Holy shit! I didn't realize that my armrest had a button there.
New toy to play with.
That little handle on the bottom's the ejector seat.
No, apparently my arms can also do this, besides this and this.
Yes. Quite
I never realized they could. It's the first try I had that could do that, and it annoys me because it pokes into my side, and it makes me uncomfortable. Sorry, I digressed. So, what about the price of tea in China?
Don't know. Oh, Lindsay had a problem with one of her cats. It was one of the strays that came up out of the woods, and she started feeding it, and for some reason, she goes out to feed the outdoor cats before my alarm clock goes off at 6 a.m. So it's dark, and she seldom takes her flashlight. So she's outside of the chain link fence to feed this stray cat. puts the bowl down, goes, that cat's making a funny noise, and shoves the bowl a little bit closer to the cat and gets bit. She comes back in the house, she washes her hands, she gets out the peroxide and all this other. And then for the last 4 or 5 days, she's going, I wonder if it was rabid. I don't know. I can't see the mark anymore, but I don't feel well. Got to watch the cats for minimum 4 days, recommended 10 days to see whether they show any signs of rabies. Cat shows up for the first time in 5 days here today. She goes out, feeds it again. It's still making a funny noise, not foaming at the mouth or anything like that. Eats the entire bowl of food before Lindsay can turn around. I'm going, that cat has not eaten since the last time, since it bit you days ago. It's hungry. That's why it's making a noise. It wants food. And the actual owner, or who we suspect is the owner, we have no proof, does not feed their cats. They keep them locked in a barn so that they will eat rats and mice. They don't get cat food. They don't get a regular diet. They get starved. So thing escapes from the barn or never goes back to the barn, hangs out in the woods, dodges coyotes, comes back scared to death to the one person who is guaranteed to give it a bowl of cat treats. And she's surprised that it's taking absolutely negative seconds to eat and making noises like it's starving to death. I'm going, yeah, that's a cat. Welcome to my world.
So you got another one?
Not officially, no. If we ever take it to have it fixed, then it's official.
Are you feeding it?
I'm not doing nothing. I get up, I go to work, I come home, I drink beer.
This is what's happened to people here in town. You know, they feed a cat or they, feed a stray dog, and then they call we call them McCamey Animal Center.
Mm-hmm.
And McCamey Animal Center goes, okay, yeah. Now, do you know who's feeding the dog if the animal's being fed? Yeah, I put some food out for them. Oh, that's your animal now.
Uh-huh. Carl, take a note.
Yeah. They will not come get it as a stray. You then have to capture it, take it down, and surrender it. After a 3-week waiting period.
Was it a raccoon? Carl, I know that you're aware my wife is from England, but she does know the difference between a cat, a raccoon, and a possum. So, nope.
Hey, now, you know the other name for possums, don't you?
I know several.
Not a kitty.
Oh, yes, I know that one too. Yes. And actually, there was a rather large one on the front porch, cleaning up the leftovers from the porch cats. And the dog was really excited to want to get out there. And Lindsay goes, "You leave that possum alone. It's not hurting nobody. They were through eating." Well, my southern accent and her British accent are really different, but the dog didn't want to take no for an answer, but I suggested a fly swatter, and the dog went to bed.
Yeah. Dan, if you want to get your Southern accent to an English accent, talk faster.
Ain't gonna happen.
So our previous dog, Phoebe, beautiful little Italian greyhounds, basically a greyhound the size of a chihuahua. Possums set her off so horribly, it's not even funny. She would go out and she would go charging the possum, not the possum, the raccoon. And the raccoon, she was actually chill with the possum. The raccoon, and it's like, that raccoon is like 3 times your size, dog. You know, it's going to turn you into its prison bitch. Leave it be.
Mm-hmm. Now we had some raccoons that were coming up when Lindsay was feeding the non-inside the fence cats, which I'm calling porch cats because that's where she feeds them now. But the little garden spot that we had with railroad ties around it, she put food bowls on the railroad ties. Raccoon came up. Cats were sitting there eating. Raccoon picked itself a bowl, started eating too. Would look up, stand up on its hind legs every once in a while, look around, scan the territory for threats, go back to eating. I have grandchildren smaller than this raccoon. I have 12-year-old grandchildren smaller than this raccoon.
I
mean,
Carl's
he was damn near waist high standing up.
I think Carl's trying to say goodnight in a polite way.
Oh,
No. Calvin's
How
always
cute.
upset when Carl doesn't go to bed at dark.
Well, I've told y'all my raccoon story about camping.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one. Tell it again. That's a good one.
And my Dollar Tree box of chicken crackers. The one time we didn't take Big White Dog with us camping, the raccoons invaded us. I heard something fall over outside the camper. I'm going, what is that? I could hear it rattle. I said, somebody's getting into our food stash under the camper. So I throw my shorts on real quick and I throw my shoes on, get the flashlight, and I go out there. Out from under the camper, a raccoon runs holding a box of my Dollar Tree chicken flavored crackers. And I'm going, no, you put that down. He runs off in the woods. So, you know, it's a brand new box. He's not getting my crackers. This little son of a bitch runs into the woods, stops, turns around, looks at me, and opens the box. I'm going, no, you son of a bitch, no. Reaches in, pulls out the bag, opens the bag in front of me. Look, you know, he's sat on the ground, he's opened up, he's looking at me. I'm saying, get away, leave it. Reaches in, pulls out one of them, looks up at me, shows it to me, then eats it. And I'm cussing. You could see lights coming on and campers around trying to figure out what the world's going on. Yes, Carl, Joe is arguing with a smart-ass raccoon.
And the smart-ass raccoon is winning.
Yeah.
Par for the course.
Then a few years later, we started having a camper rally up there at that campground where all the Apache camper. I mean, I had people coming from as far away as Minnesota, almost Zach's part of the country. And we get up one morning, and this lady is screaming bloody murder. Well, you know, we all go running up there. Her cooler is turned upside down. All the hamburger meat is gone. And every egg is busted on the ground. The raccoon got into her computer. Into her cooler and ate all the hamburger meat. And then didn't eat the eggs, just busted the eggs so nobody else could have any.
Hey, Rich, there's an IT story for you. There was a raccoon in the computer.
That's what I was just thinking.
Just another bug in the system.
And merge those two stories, and there's a green room story of a raccoon getting in your cooter.
Oh.
I'm glad I finished
Hi.
that when you said that.
Yeah, I'm glad you put that up.
Hi, Don. How you doing?
I'm early tonight.
I was gonna say, not 10 minutes. What's happened?
She's
Somebody was tired. They went to
bored.
bed early.
Well,
No, somebody went to bed earlier than usual.
Now that Dawn's here, I can go. So I probably should start packing.
No, you.
Oh,
still,
not because I'm here, though.
No,
you still got 14 hours.
Yeah, really.
not really.
How long till you get on the airplane? Okay.
Well, it's international, so I have to be there 3 hours early. And
No.
so
No.
I have to be at the airport in 15 hours ish.
You got plenty of time.
14, 15 hours.
And once you get everything packed and you go, hey, I'm packed, you're going to be sitting there and you're going to remember stuff that you were like, yeah.
No, I'm going to remember stuff once I'm on the plane. Because this happens every time, and then I have to buy more of it.
Oh,
And
no,
then
I
you're
forgot
sitting
my
in Atlanta
3,000.
for 3.5 days while they search your luggage.
You know what's funny? From being in the military, I got a little closet right there. I've still got a duffel bag in that closet with all of my beach stuff ready to go.
Go back for the beach.
There's 2 swimsuits, there's flip-flops, there's t-shirts, there's sunscreen, there's a bottle of
K-rations.
Panama Jack. There's a bottle of Panama Jack tanning oil, condoms, just
The
You see,
usual
when they-
supplies.
When they scan my bag, it's normally my carry-on that's the problem. Because, one, it's normally full of about 20 plus batteries for different devices and cameras, because none of them can be packed. And then I left them last time when I was down there, but I had the bigger batteries that could be for like computers, and they're each about this big, about that thick, and I had 2 of them right on top of everything else. So on the scan, they see 2 big batteries, and then they see wires going through this backpack that's as large as that. And then to add it on top, we learned that business cards, when you order them from like Staples or Vistaprint in a box, because they are so tightly packed together, the X-ray can't scan that. So it looks
like one big block.
One solid black brick. And I had that, and then to add it on top, someone had put some Pokemon cards. It's for a metallic.
Sir,
right
can
on
you step
top.
over here?
So I had a metallic ring around a solid black box with 2 huge batteries and wires everywhere. They love
And
when
you're,
I do security.
and you're here with us right now. I'm surprised.
Yeah, really, but he's on a Homeland Security watch list. You can be assured.
Wouldn't be
They're-
surprised.
We all are at this point in time.
They're snapping the gloves like, sir, can you step over here, please?
I was going.
So, okay,
I was going through customs with my duffel bag and this. Okay, and I put it in the tray and everything. And they
You're allowed that on board?
back then. You were.
Oh, okay.
But I would put it in my duffel bag, but it showed up on X-rays and such. But they're taking the little nitrate swabs and checking my baggage for explosives.
Given your job in the Army, that's kind of futile, isn't it?
This is the knife I use to cut explosives. It probably still has C4 residue and PETN and all the stuff that goes with fuses and TNT and stuff like that down in the cracks and crevices of the knife. You could probably swab it right now and it would show up positive for nitrates. Fortunately, the guy that was doing the inspection was a former Marine, older fellow. And about my age, roughly. And so he was like, well, he saw the duffel bag for one thing. And was like, oh yeah, that's okay. Ooh, you're hey, it's just don't bother with the nitrate swabs. It's going to show up positive.
Really?
I fly a lot. It's fine. It's explosive.
Well, you were talking about remembering stuff on the plane. There's nothing like being an hour west of Memphis. I mean, an hour west of Nashville headed to Memphis. And you look back over your shoulder and ask your wife, where are all our clothes? You know,
Better than where are all kids?
She goes, I thought
Hanging in the bathroom.
I thought you brought them out. I said, I told you before we left, we need to get them.
Yeah, we were driving 18 hours from Edmonton to Winnipeg for a funeral, and then we're going to drop down and do the Dakotas, and then come back through Montana. We realized about 5 hours into the trip that we forgot our passports in the safe. So we had 2 cars going. So one car turned around, went and got the passports. The other one stopped and stayed there and hung out for the day. Then came back. We got our passports. Let's keep going. With a 9, 10, and 12-year-old. It was fun.
Are we there yet?
We spent a lot of time at that McDonald's. The kid was great.
About 10 hours. Well, no, probably 11 hours because you figure, there's probably stuff you had to do once you got in the house.
You gotta undo the door. Yeah.
With every happy Meal, you get a free share of stock.
So I gotta tell you the cat story really quick. It's sad though, I'm sorry, but I have to say it. There was a cat, it's called Furball Farm Cat Sanctuary, and it's back up in Minnesota where my parents are. And they had a cat that suddenly passed away yesterday. His name was Fin. And when they found out he had lung cancer, well, they had been trying to catch this other orange cat that they had named Johnny. They had been trying to catch him for like 3 weeks in a live trap. And they couldn't get close to it. Well, today they went down to try to catch it. Somebody said we found it because they'd taken a lot of ferals and, unadoptables. And they get there and the trapper is able to walk down to this cat, scruff the cat, and kind of put it in the live trap, kind of scoot it through in there. And they had never been able to approach it. So everybody, including myself, is like, Finn told her it's okay to go. Because it ended up being a little girl, too, instead of a boy. Which girl ginger cats are there's only 20% of ginger cats are girls. Most of them are boys. So it's this little girl. She is really sick. She's got a long road ahead of her, but she's just been a little cuddle bug with everybody at the sanctuary today. And they showed a picture. She's just passed out cold. But I was like, oh,
I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, I thought you wanted a cuddle.
huh?
Joe was pointing at himself when you were talking about cuddling.
I missed that part. Donna, better get on that. I scared Dan away too. Man. Well, I'm gonna go. Since I scared everybody away.
You need to come back in 6 minutes.
Let's baby things back. I was going to. I was so excited for the cat. They named her Johnny. Well,
Johnny
they named
cat.
him. They named him Johnny, but then they said, "Well, Johnny can be a girl's name too." So, but it was a happy story. And we all got quiet.
I'm not scared. I just had to go pee.
Because he was
You
scared.
know.
That was more important than hearing my story.
I heard your story. I didn't turn the headset off. I just turned the microphone
just muted
off.
it, yeah.
So you didn't have to listen to me, but I could still listen to you.
He was so excited about the story that it made him had to go pee.
Yeah. It made me think of it when you were talking about Lindsay's predicament and about Finn and Johnny.
Yep. Well, she has decided from looking at the cat, it's showing no effects of any illness whatsoever except starvation. So she's decided she doesn't have to go and have the complete series of rabies shots.
Good for her.
That's very good.
Yes.
When I worked at the shelter, I thought about going to actually get them just in case.
Hey, it might be a good idea.
Interesting pet news. A couple in Sparta, Tennessee, which is way north, about halfway to the Kentucky border from Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Their pet got loose. A pet kangaroo. Only in Tennessee. Okay. Technically, Australia, they have pet kangaroos get loose all the damn time. But it's kind of rare for Tennessee.
It's not uncommon in Dawsonville, Georgia.
I was going to say, isn't there a law about not having pet kangaroos in Florida?
Well, I don't know about Florida, but I know in Tennessee they wanted to make a law, but nobody could spell kangaroo. So.
And then, wasn't there a kangaroo loose in a Florida neighborhood in either 2020 or 2021?
Probably.
Yeah, but they let it slide because it was scaring the crap out of the alligators.
And the snakes.
Also, speaking of Australia, a man was arrested for taking a platypus out of its habitat and then taking it on a tour of a local town.
Yeah, they get mean, though.
I'm not sure. I've never read anything about their behavioral habits.
If it's male,
like
it's very dangerous because males have poisonous spikes on their hind legs.
Yes, they have spurs.
Sorry, venomous.
Yes, they call them spurs,
and they have venom in them, so yeah, they can mess.
You'll be envenomated. Yes, you won't be poisoned. You'll be envenomated. That word.
Yes.
So
you'll
this
be
person
stabbed
had to
and
have...
injected, and inspected and detected, and
so if it was a
hopefully resurrected.
If it was a boy platypus, they had to have a lot of spizzerinctum.
Yes.
Yes. Although you got to give credit to the girl platypuses because they got to put up with the boy platypuses.
Well, it's any female versus male.
My question is, when he was giving the platypus a tour, did he buy him a fedora and a trench coat?
I don't know, but where's
no,
Barry?
but they got arrested for singing "Tie Me Kangaroo Down, Boy." And Men at Work sued because, the whole kookaburra thing. They got to get their money back somehow.
I will be very disappointed if someone in Australia doesn't make a song about a guy kidnapping a platypus. Okay. That's just...
There's probably about 16 or 20 of them in the top 40 right now.
Instead of I want a hippopotamus for Christmas, they can say I want a platypus for Easter.
I like that.
They do lay eggs.
They do lay eggs.
They are monotremes.
Oh.
Yes, dear.
The Dawsonville Kangaroo Farm has closed.
Aww.
They opened to the public in January of 2020.
Bad timing.
Faltered due to the economy.
That was a bad time. That was definitely a bad time to open a kangaroo farm.
Yeah. They had the largest...
Sadly, they didn't bounce back.
Nope, they didn't.
They didn't hop on pivoting, huh?
My boomerang won't come back. My boomerang won't come back.
And they actually had to sell off all their kangaroos. They had the largest collection outside of Australia.
That was one hell of a clearance sale, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did it go to other sanctuaries, or did
Yeah,
they go to
other-
zoos, or
other-
what?
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
Rich. I'm sorry.
They
No. For a
Other
completely different
sanctuaries
reason.
and zoos.
they hired them out as spokesman for a local gas station.
And during Last
Probably
Man
not
Standing,
Sinclair.
during Last Man Standing, asked me about what kangaroo thought I had.
I'm almost afraid to. Oh Lord. Ah. If it's got to wait 10 minutes,
He's gonna forget by then, anyways.
well, yeah, but at least I'm awake. You don't have to.
No,
you don't have to
I
look at my
won't.
thinning hair. Oh. And now I'm worried about going to that Masonic Lodge thing for my brother. I don't know why I'm worried about it. Nobody's going to pay any attention to me. Well, one of those things.
Hey, if Perry Mason is there, can you tell him to get me Godzilla's autograph?
You be second on the list because I want Godzilla's autograph too. After all, we share a birthday.
I'm glad Rich got that joke. That's
I'm assuming it's the Orson Welles connection.
I'm watching my cats play. I'm gonna sit in your spot, and I'm gonna sit in your spot. Sorry, I was distracted.
You didn't miss much. Oh, Chris. That's probably what I'm afraid of, that I'm going to have a conversation with someone, because this is important to my brother and I don't want to screw it up. He's a nice kid.
Get on, Rich. Get on.
But just be careful if they start offering you drinks in really fancy chalices and ask you to read certain things. And
They'll
go
be
on down to the
surprised.
front altar, Dan.
They'll be surprised at my command of Latin. I have read Lovecraft exclusively. Ooh, I can even remember the other languages. Not sure about my pronunciation.
Lovecraft After Dark.
I've seen enough hentai to know where that's going.
Oh, it ain't going nowhere. I'm not taking it anywhere, not even for a walk on a leash.
50 Shades of Eldridge.
50 Shades of Cthulhu.
No, see, then that people know that. You know, I mean, you're giving away
Eldridge,
the plot.
Eldridge
Man.
is
But the thing
Eldritch
is, you'd
is a
be
word
driving her mad in multiple capacities.
now I'm hearing Brian Eno driving me backwards. Why do you do that to me, Rich? You'll say something you think is innocent, but no, my brain has all this information packed in there loosely.
No.
That's
I say
never
things
been
that I try to
sorted for
pass
any
off as
reason.
innocent. I say things that I try to pass off as innocent.
I've got this feeling that my luck is none too good.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
show my share screen. I found Dan's shirt.
I need that one for work.
I like that shirt. I love that style. What is it? It's the rib sleeves.
Yeah,
It's ribbed for your pleasure.
and it comes.
We couldn't have gotten away with that, Dawn.
Hey, and
I
it
can-
comes
I
in
can say-
color, John.
I like the green one better. I like that sage green color better.
Yeah.
Wait, is it got like leather elbows? Oh, too late. You didn't get rid of it.
Little
Look like it had
patches.
leather
Yeah.
elbow patches.
Yeah. Does it come in tweed?
One of these days, I need to remember to wear one of my favorite T-shirts that the wife and kids got me for Father's Day one year. It says, "That which does not kill me should run." And then it's got a Viking sitting on a throne with an axe.
Joe, throw that up there again, or put it in stupid o'clock or something.
Okay, I actually have deleted it because I found a new shirt. Hold on, let me get it.
He needs a new truck. One that won't run away. One that don't drink too much gas. One he can drive all day.
There you go.
What is that? Is that the same?
It's the same saying, just in a different shirt.
What? I want to see the last shirt.
Oh, the last shirt?
Yes.
But I see the elbows.
Go find it yourself.
Okay, hold on. All right.
There we go.
That's the one. Light in the box. I'm not sure I would want to brag about that particular statement.
Thank you, Joe.
And here's the link over in private chat.
Oh, thank you.
There's the green room.
Here's perdition. I'm on my way.
It's who? What's she look
What'd you
like?
call me?
Or
Oh,
however
Lord.
you reacted.
All right, guys, it's almost time to hit the button.
Yep.
What button? What button?
Pull
The
the
big red
lever,
one.
Frank.
Has it really been longer than 10 minutes?
Yep. It's time to say good night, everybody.
Good night,
night, everybody.
everybody.
Good night.
And we'll see you Saturday night.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.
Did not get away with it.